Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. It's 6:50 a.m., May 20th. My name is Amal, and I'm here to do your morning crypto and market analysis. A couple things to get out of the way first, folks, is by the end of the month, we're going to be raising our prices from 97 per month, which they currently are, to 125 by the end of the month. So make sure you guys join, because if you join in the current price, you will get grandfathered in and you will not have to pay the higher rate. So again, our prices are changing from 97 to 125 a month. We've had a substantial amount of new interest from members. We have a number of new channels in our community, and I'm going to show you guys that real quick of exactly how we are positioned in the community, what markets we're trading, how we're trading them, etc. Okay, so fact of the matter is our community is growing, and I hope you guys are wanting to be a part of it, because I think there's going to be tremendous success and volatility, whether it's up or down. There's going to be tremendous success and volatility in the markets for us to trade them over the next several months. This is also election year, especially in the United States. So I think there's going to be a lot of interesting factors to play upon in the US markets, especially the FX markets, which we've been showing more visibly now of how we're trading them. We want to let you guys know that none of this information is financial advice, but what we do provide is very insightful and informative information for you to make a good decision on. And we provide rugged transparency of exactly how we are looking at the market and how we are going to trade it. So with that being said, let's get to it, okay? So first things first, I want to let you guys know, full disclosure, that I am currently short up in this area with BTC. I still do believe that from here, we're possibly going to spike down. There's a couple of reasons I'm going to explain by the end of this video, and you can go do your research yourself. But I'm going to explain to you the reasons why I am short. Okay, so first things first, let's look at the price action of Bitcoin, right? For the most part, what we've really put in is, this large range that you're seeing where a lot of the price action has taken place right here, okay? And this has been going on for, what's today, the 20th, so this has been going on for about 6 days. A majority of the price action has taken place between $99.70 to a low of about $9,100 or so, okay? So that almost $700–800 range is where price has effectively been traded. With that being said, I'm also aware that we've put in good higher lows, kind of like this, like this, like this. So I'm very well aware of how the bulls are pushing the price up, or rather what seems to be that the bulls are pushing the price up. And this is where I'm going to expand upon my point of why I personally believe that we are still not in the full bull mode, versus I personally believe why we're actually more bearish than we are bullish up here. So first things first, what I want to show you guys is, as I've stated before multiple times, at the highs like this over here, distribution right there with the big spike down in volume, again, spike down in volume, again, decently high volume, and then volume has tapered off a little bit over here, okay? So for the most part, there's been a lot of distribution, I would say, that has taken place over the last several weeks at least. It's been about 2.5 weeks since we've entered this larger range. And a lot of sell side volume has actually stepped up, with the buy side volume unable to put in higher highs, right? For the most part, this is the only slight higher high as per this key wick right here. But even that was a SFP, right? So this is the only mini higher high that we've had. As you can see, we pierced up above it just a little bit, as you can see, by about $9, and then quickly dropped down below. So that's the only higher high that we've had as per this high and this lower high. But again, we dropped down below. So what does that tell us? Well, it tells us that the bulls are really struggling to break through this area. And that tells me, by watching the L2 data, which is the order book data and the order flow, that it just seems like the bears are bidding up the price, or rather guiding up the price, along with retail, excuse me, along with retail, and they're effectively driving the price into their own ask walls. Okay, so what that means is the bears are actually helping the price be guided into this area up here so they could distribute at a higher, more efficient price. Now, I've talked about this point numerous times in my video, right? In my previous videos. So go check that out, right? For this whole region right here, I've had a bearish bias because something just doesn't seem right to me up here, okay? Now, if we blast up through, let's just say 10,100 or 10,500 at best, then we can start talking about, all right, well, we're full on, bull mode at least till 11,000, maybe 11,500. But we're still at $9,700. We keep chopping around up and down with big volume spikes up and down. So kind of like these, Darth Maul candles, if you want to call them. But nonetheless, I am still bearish in this area and I am short. Even if you look at the daily volume, here's something that is interesting on the daily volume is that overall, okay, on this move up here, we had declining volume. Only up here did you have a surge in volume, as you can see. So what does that tell us? Well, this is something that I described in my video yesterday, Bitcoin Roadmap to 2025. Make sure you go check it out on our Alpha Trades channel right here. It's a fantastic overview of how I see price action leading in for the next few months into all the way to 2025 and what I believe price could be by then. So make sure you go check it out. A lot of really important stuff with bigger Elliott wave counts for the last few years, a volume analysis, divergence. We look at how miner data is showing us that there's more miners selling. A lot of important information. So go check it out, Bitcoin Roadmap to 2025, okay? Now going back to our analysis, right? Again, big spike of volume right at the top. This does not make me feel comfortable when we've reached up so much and then the majority of the volume comes at the top, because this tells me that there's a lot of sellers waiting here to get out. And this is why it's been so hard for us to pierce through that 10,000 wall right here, okay? After we hit 10,000 right here, I don't think we actually hit 10,000 again for any of these candles right here, okay? So there's a lot of players up here, whether it's 10,000 or give or take $100 or $200 more, it seems like there's a lot of sellers waiting up here. So this is an area that I am careful in, and I think this is the best risk to reward trade when it comes to being short, because you have defined risk by knowing that this was a key high, 10,500 from October 2019, 10,550 from about February 2020. So your risk is defined that your stop could be above this area, or your stop could be above these wicks right here from 2 or 3 weeks ago. So this is what I mean why the short trade, in my opinion, and the short bias is far more useful up here than the long biases, because if you're long, you're probably mostly retail trying to think that you could press up through this 10,000 area, because remember, the real heavyweight lifting is done by the bigger players. Now, here's what I'm going to show you that's really interesting about the bigger players in the market. So let's go to the CME data, right? So remember, as I've stated before, the Bitcoin CME Futures data is far more important and very useful in understanding market structure, as well as the futures positioning of larger hedge funds or open interest, or what the CME markets are doing. So here's the thing, okay? Let's turn on the volume over here. Again, at the key highs right here, right, we saw, well, even this one right here, we saw a big surge in volume, right? Even over here, for overall, if you start looking, there's a decline in volume as the prices moved up. And then we're starting to see more and more sell side volume now, again, step up right here. So what that tells me is, for the most part, there's more selling happening here than most people think. Now let's look at this indicator right here, okay? So this monitors the CME COT data, which is the Commitment of Traders Report, and they show you how the market positioning is for a number of players. First thing to note is that the open interest has spiked up really high. okay? And yet, the price has technically declined as the open interest has spiked up. So what does that tell us? Well, let's go to this guide, right? This is a guide from Sword and Shield Forex. Still, they talk about the COT data, whether it's Forex. It's the same formula, nonetheless, okay? So we're seeing price decrease, open interest increase. So what that tells us is this is a strong bear market. Personally, I don't think it's a strong bear market per se yet, but rather it's developing to be one. Because when you see an open interest spike up, you see volume move up right here, or even volume right here get really high. And then price is really not moving anywhere except technically down with a lower high. That means that more and more bears or more shorts are possibly entering the market in this area. Now, here's another reason why you should be a little bit more aware. So non-reportables right here are your average, maybe high net worth individuals, maybe, retailers or speculators in the market. Your non-commercials are your larger institutions and hedge funds who are, who have significantly more money than these guys over here. Your commercials are people who are just really hedging their positions in the market. Whether price goes up or down, they're just trying to balance out their positioning in the market, depending on how hedged they are to the long side, the downside. Okay, so in either case, commercials don't really matter a whole lot. Non-reportables kind of matter, and non-commercials definitely matter. These are your bigger institutions and hedge funds, like I said, and these are your smaller traders or maybe even some high net worth individuals. But again, these guys don't move the market. These guys do. And these guys only hedge the movements of the markets. So if you're seeing open interest go up and you're seeing price kind of just inch down a little bit, and you're seeing non-commercials actually more net short right here, as you can see, what does that tell you? Well, non-reportables are actually going up, which are your smaller players. Your bigger players are actually shorting. Open interest is going up. So in large part, there are more shorts coming into this area. That is what I'm trying to tell you guys for the last several days, is that don't be fooled by this market structure just the way it is, just blindly. Look at the other data surrounding it. Look at us, kind of putting in dojis right here for the last 3 or 4 days. Look at us having a spike of volume right at the high. Now, where could I be wrong? Well, if we smash up through 10,500, then I'm definitely wrong. But if we just do a bit of a head fake right here and then start rolling back over, then I'm not wrong. That means, unfortunately, I was just wrong in terms of the tightness of the stops, but we might have really created maybe what seems like maybe a head and shoulders pattern in development, possibly. Okay, again, that's a possibility. But fact of the matter is, I've shown you as per the CME data, I've shown you as per the volume over here, the big spike in volume right at the high. I've shown you that we're really just moving sideways here, and there's no real guarantee that we're going to move up or down, but the risk to reward is better for the shorts up here, while retail is actually FOMOing in and thinking that we're going to push higher. It just seems very likely to me that we're actually going to push lower. So this is why I am currently short and I have a bearish bias at present moment, okay? Let's go back to the 1 hour and see if there's anything else we can look at. All right, so here's another thing about the 1 hour time frame. You can look at the OBV. Again, the OBV helps you understand what's happening in the inflows in the market as per movement to the upside or the downside, okay? So look, this was a positive movement because as price moved up, OBV moved up. This is price moving up, OBV is consistently moving down. So again, numerous signs in many different time frames and different markets that are showing you that there's something not as clear as you think about this market by it just simply looking bullish. It's just not the case in my opinion, okay? So be careful in the market, step away from the crowd, step away from the bullish people who are constantly telling you that we're gonna push 10K or 11K. Just think for yourself, look at the data that I've presented to you, and then make your decision. Again, if you like this kind of information, you want to know exactly when we take trades, what where we're thinking about getting in, getting out, you could go to our website, cryptosomniac.com. Again, the prices are right now 97. By the end of the month, closing of the month, they're going to be 125. So make sure you join today so you're grandfathered in for the foreseeable future, because we're not going to change the rates for you if you're grandfathered in 97. All right. So cryptosomniac.com, products page, and buy the Advantage subscription and come join us and trade with us. So let me give you guys a couple examples of how we've been trading so far. Here's one of our Forex trades where we entered in right here at 106.915, and we closed some of our position right up here when prices spiked up. Here's the proof, okay? So 106.91, that's our entry point right there. Here's some of our exit yesterday, 107.82. Now you're probably thinking, oh, that's not really that big of a move. It's only a 0.88% move. But again, in the FX markets, with the kind of leverage and money that you play with, that is a significant amount of money. So we trimmed half or 1/3 of our position, moving our stop to break even for the entry point. And so now, either case, if we get stopped out, we get stopped out. I'm personally thinking that the dollar yen is probably going to push up higher. I think it'll probably retrace maybe for another day, but I think it'll probably push up higher. Let's look at some other trades that we took. So here's Faisal, our equities analyst. He puts up stock of the day in here, and this is his record of closing the positions, whether it's in profit or losses. You can see he closed out the Alibaba position right here with a 10.9% profit. Fantastic trade. Walmart as well closed out at 127.8. Again, all this information is given to our Advantage members who have access to all these locked channels, which you can purchase here at the products page, Advantage membership right here. And you get all these channels. Okay, we don't have a tiered membership. It's all or nothing. You either get everything with our community or you get nothing, which is on the free side, which are these videos that you see pretty much every day. And then you get live equities updates of how Faisal sees the market every single day, of his insight of how a day trader looks at the market. So you have really fantastic insight from players who are actually trading the market, who are showing you proof of how they got into a position, when they got out, timestamps, and everything. So this is what we offer in our community. So I hope you guys come join. Again, I hope this analysis was helpful. Come join the Advantage membership. Go to the cryptosomniac.com website, products page, and Advantage membership, and come join and trade with us, because we will always give you an unbiased, objective outlook on the market. I have no reason for me to be more bullish or bearish when it comes to Bitcoin or FX or anything. I don't care. I don't care which direction the market goes in. Give me a good trade. Give me a good risk to reward ratio, and I'm going to get in and out of the trade with the hopes of making money. It doesn't really make any difference to me if the market goes up or down. Okay? So I'm simply here to show you guys exactly what I'm seeing in the market. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. All right? But at least you'll know that I took the position. All right? So with that being said, come join the Advantage membership. Hit the thumbs up below, hit subscribe, and make sure you go watch our Bitcoin Roadmap to 2025 video. And let me know your thoughts. All right? Y'all take care, and I'll talk to y'all soon. All right? Cheers.